Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Hat and Beard Show. It is Monday morning, and as a Detroit Lions fan, even though the NFL season hasn't completely wrapped up until this Sunday, the Pro Bowl games just got done this last weekend. If you follow the script, I'm pretty sure we know how Sunday night's going to go. But as a Lions fan, we did get an early divisional round dismissal at the hands of the Washington Commanders. So we are in full swing of the offseason, and my favorite part of the offseason, that's right, guys, it is draft time. It is draft time, and Mondays moving forward will be dedicated on this channel until it happens, until one of my favorite days of the offseason. Today and every Monday moving forward will be Mock Draft Monday. That's right, say it with me now. Mock Draft Monday. We will be doing a series of, as we get closer to the draft, we will actually be running some mock drafts. But as it is super early into the offseason, we are many weeks out from the draft. Senior Bowl just wrapped up, so there will be lots of movement on big boards, lots of speculation. Lots of things will change, notably once the combine's over. We will have all of the coverage here, so make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. If you haven't already, like the video, turn the notification bell on. Comment down below, what do you think the Lions should do with their first round pick sitting at pretty number at 28 at the back end? It's nice for us to sit back. You know, only good teams drafted the back end of the draft, unless, of course, you end up trading around. But this is a 28th pick earned with a 15-2 record, early dismissal. But I have seen lots of different mock drafts come along with the Lions. This is going to be targeting the first round here. I have a little article here pulled up from sportsillustrated.com. It came out February 1st. And this article really just played to my biases in that I, don't want us to go corner in the first round. I think that we, taking Terrion Arnold last year, was a solid move. You know, everybody kind of dogged Terrion Arnold for how often he got flagged early on, and he was averaging like two PI calls a game. But, you know, really after week 8, I think he only picked up like 2 or 3 PI calls the rest of the season. So Terrion Arnold showed a lot of growth and development. Obviously, Amik Robertson, last we've seen him, his arm was in 2 separate pieces on the ground early on in the first or the divisional round of the playoffs. He comes back, he should be a nice solid piece for our defense because it took him a while, but later on in the season he really developed and found himself both playing well and feeling welcomed in the locker room and both by the fandom. I'm a big fan of what Amik Robertson was able to do against Justin Jefferson. And of course, there's always the last year's second round pick, Enos Rakestraw Jr., who, he missed the majority of the season, let's be honest. He would just call it a redshirt year because he was dinged up with injuries. And unfortunately, the one thing that I said would never going to happen early on last year in the offseason after we drafted these 2 corners in the first and second round, I said we would never be starting Kindle Vildor in a playoff game again. But boy, did I put a bunch of pie all over my face on that one. So that all being said, I am hellbent on the Detroit Lions going and getting us a complimentary pass rush piece to aid Aidan Hutchinson. Zadarius Smith should be that guy, but Zadarius Smith is no longer as young as he once was, although he is what I refer to many, many times on this channel as a bookend defensive end. He's a lot physically bigger as far as his back end, his bottom half, his ass, his legs, his thighs are a little bit thicker than Aidan Hutchinson. He's not as explosive, but can really, like, as I like to say, set the edge and let Hutchinson collapse it down in on him. So I have been screaming for a running mate with Aidan Hutchinson, and Zadarius Smith wasn't going to be that guy this year. He could be next year, but he was a temporary solution to a hemorrhaging problem, right? We lost every bit of our explosiveness when Hutch broke his leg, and then our defensive line just kept falling apart. Pascal's not really getting much of a rush. James Houston didn't even finish the season on the roster. Al-Qadim Muhammad did relatively well from time to time. DJ Reader surprised everyone, and though being a defensive stalwart in the run game, was able to amass 3 sacks in limited action this year. And obviously, Lee McNeil missed the back end of the year with injury, and he was having even more of a breakout year than he has been since coming to Detroit. not Michael Brockers. Oh gosh, what's his name? Broderick Martin is a dud. And I don't see us signing Levi Onwuzurike, which kind of sucks because you don't like to see these guys that we take early on in the draft not really pan out. But that is why they're not first-round talent. All that being said, SportsIllustrated.com. Lions 2025 NFL Draft Edge Big Board. So this is exclusively edge defenders the Lions could target early on in the 2025 draft. And again, I'm sorry, guys, I can't seem to make my screen recording work, so you're just going to have to deal with stills for now. I appreciate y'all hanging with me through all of the technical issues. We are actually growing at a pretty good rate despite everything, and I really appreciate you hanging out with me. This is from Vito Chirico. We got here Tennessee's. Oh yeah, this is James Pearce Jr. Been mocked to us a couple times from some people. So let's get into it here. The Lions have a chance to add depth to their roster this offseason. The Lions currently hold 7 picks in the draft, including the number 28 overall selection in the first round. That is, real quick, the number of picks that we got, obviously, it was unsettling to see us move so many pieces to bring in players who are probably going to leave Carlton Davis Jr., okay? But you wondered, did Brad Holmes look into his little crystal ball, and did he know Aaron Glenn was going to be getting a head coaching opportunity, so he just sacrificed picks because he knew he'd be getting compensatory picks for the rule? I think it was in 2000, 2002, somewhere around there, that minority coaches have hired away. You get a compensatory pick based on basically where they end up being in the coaching hierarchy, and going from a coordinator to a head coach role. I think that lands us a third-round pick, which is a nice little addition that we moved that away. And I think we also are missing a 5th-round pick, I think, that we should also be getting for compensatory options of also other coaches, I believe. Don't hold me to it. I haven't looked that too much into it. I'm not too worried about where the picks come from. I'm just worried about who we're going to pick. With the aforementioned first rounder, it wouldn't be surprised me if the Lions general manager Brad Holmes targets an edge to complement Aidan Hutchinson. That's what I would like to go. Here are 7 edge defenders he could ultimately select. As obviously number 1, I don't know if this is in any particular order. It wouldn't be the order that I put it in. I'd move some guys around. Mostly because some of these guys are obviously not going to be there. Some of these guys throughout the draft process will climb boards. There are 2 guys that I am already early and in love with, and both of these guys are on the list. I'll point them out when we get there. James Pearce Jr. is not one of them, though. However, coming in at 6'5", 240, he registered 17.5 sacks over his 2 seasons for the Vols, produced a career-best 43 quarterback hurries in 2024, and earned an 89.3 Pro Football Focus pass rush grade for his effort. He would be a solid target for the Lions at number 28 overall. I don't think he's going to be there. I think this is going to be a guy who you'll see climb up boards in most rooms after his combine performance. I don't think he's going to be there for the Lions. And honestly, and this isn't a slight against Hendon Hooker, but I got a bad taste in my mouth about Tennessee Volunteers products. I'm just not overly excited about bringing in another Vols player. Again, no slight against Hendon Hooker or even James Pearce Jr. I'm not too wild about it. I don't know much about the dude, but I don't like this play right here. I think we're asking for too much. But then again, no one expected Terrion Arnold to be there for us last year. We did have to go up and get him, though, right in front of the Packers. All right, the second name on our list is Mike Green from Marshall, standing at 6'4", 248. He has been a popular pick for the Lions at number 28 over the past 2 weeks. He's a skill set to be both an effective pass rusher and run stopper at the next level, and has the numbers to back it up. Green produced 23 total sacks and 53 total QB hurries the past 2 seasons for the Thundering Herd. Plus, he received a 91.4 PFF pass rush grade and a 90.2 run defense mark for his efforts in 24. He's a solid fit for the Lions at edge opposite Aidan Hutchinson. Can you tell that he's one of the names on my list? I love this guy, Mike Green. I love this guy, Mike Green, mostly because in my opinion, this guy, Mike Green, now if he doesn't check out Brad Holmes' psychological profile, then we dodge it, and we have no reason to question Brad Holmes and any of the decisions that he's been making thus far. However, Mike Green going to be sliding down the boards a little bit because he plays at Marshall, right? A smaller school, smaller, lower level of talent, right? You know who else played at a small school named Marshall and kind of slid a little bit because, one, his personality was kind of trash, but two, because of the level of talent he played, that would be Hall of Fame wide receiver Randy Moss. Now, could Mike Green come in and be the Randy Moss of the defensive end position and totally revolutionize things? And just, would he be a complimentary piece to Hutch? How could these two just thrive together? I think Mike Green, another guy who could climb up some boards after a combine performance, but will be pushed down, not necessarily, he won't be able to crack, I think, in my opinion, unless he has an outstanding combine performance and just there's a lot of tape that comes out on him of just being an absolute mad lad. He won't be able to crack the top 15, top 20 because he plays at Marshall. Well, that is a golden opportunity for Brad Holmes to strike on a guy who fits our culture. Third name, Mykel Williams from Georgia. Williams is a physically gifted athlete, checking in at 6'5", 265. He has the ability to line up at edge in multiple defensive schemes. He does need to refine his skills as a run defender, though. He could use a bit of work with his pad level from time to time. Williams has also produced just 11 total sacks and 9 QB hits in 25 games with the Bulldogs. He played 2 seasons, so it would have been nice to see him produce more consistent results at the collegiate level. It's something the Lions could hold against him and could use and could cause them to bypass the Georgia product with the number 28 pick rolls around. Not high on this unless you, again, get some tape. Big combine, get some tape of him being an absolute DJ Reader level of a run defender. I don't need help stopping the run. I've got Jimmys and Joes all over the field that can stop the run. I got Jimmys and Joes and this cat named Jack, right? And he is there to do everything and just keep the offensive line off my linebackers so that they can roll, right? So that Anzalone and Action Jack Campbell can do their thing. Now, if you end up separating ties with a DJ Reader or even a Levi Onwuzurike, and you end up wanting to bring in a guy, this is going to be more of a Broderick Martin style, maybe put some little bit more weight on him. I think he's a little big for a defensive end as far as he plays that bookend role that Zadarius Smith kind of hits. These measurements are similar to Zadarius Smith. Pardon me while I yawn and burp at the same time. I want more explosiveness. And on 11 sacks in 25 games and just 9 QB hits. That means you're not even, and they don't even list his pressure and hurry rate. So that's not a good thing. Again, Mykel Williams could be one of those, combine heroes. And as I've stated numerous times, no one knows what Brad Holmes is going to do. Number 4 is Shamar Stewart. He will not be there. I wouldn't be so fond of Stewart for the Lions as I would be of Pearce and Green. Stewart has solid measurables at 6'6", 285. He was a third-team All-ACC in 24. Grades out as a proficient run stopper at 88.2 run defense. Lower than the other two guys at the top of our list here. Still, though, productive. He's a big body. Yet at the collegiate level, he struggled to put up consistent numbers as a pass rusher, and consequently, there's a case to be made that he still needs to refine his pass rush skills. At this present juncture, I'd rather the Lions get Stewart as a day 2 pick. Yes, I don't want guys whose skills need to be refined unless they're, an injured dude like a Jameson Williams who has literally every single athletic measurable. He's just coming off an injury or wasn't used to his maximum potential or could use a little bit of coach up. Do I think that Shamar Stewart from Texas A&M is that guy? No, I don't. However, if he's there on day 2, I am tickled shitless to get him. 5th name, Donovan Ezeruaku. Big E, measuring at 6'3", 232, had a breakout campaign for the Boston College Eagles in 24. He recorded a career best 14 sacks, 20 hits on his way to earning first team all ACC honors. That's like being the smartest kid with Down syndrome. He also received 90.0 overall overall grade from PFF, including a 90.4 pass rush grade and an 83.6 rush defense. He proved himself to be both an apt pass rusher and run defender in his final season at BC. At this point, I believe Big E, despite a day 3 projection, nope. Despite a day 3 projection. You gotta have you got to have a monster year, and you have got to have turned your entire psychological profile around to go from a day 3 projection to a first-round pick coming out of the ACC. That's all I'm going to say. Josiah Stewart, we've already talked about him earlier on, or late last week. He's 6'1", 245. He's from Michigan. He actually really went bananas this season, produced 9 sacks, 28 hurries, and 24, and amassed a 92.3 pass rush mark for his efforts. So this guy is a pass rush phenom. He's projected as a day 2 pick in various mock drafts up to this point. Yet I wouldn't be opposed to Holmes nabbing the Michigan defender at number 28. I would. I want day 1. I want guys who grade out as a first-round talents, because I can't express to you how much of a dud it would be to have a guy with a 5th-year option that's a second-round talent who isn't panning out, right? I need a guy like a Mike Green, or like this guy right here. This my other guy right here. This guy right here. Jack Sawyer. Unfortunately, he's from Ohio State, but you know what? So is Taylor Deckard, and Taylor Deckard's a turd. Sawyer, standing in at 6'5", 260 pounds, has already become a trendy selection for the Lions at number 28 overall. Because he's basically like Aidan Hutchinson, and that build right there, I can't say his skill set's the same, but that build, that motor. The Ohio State product is coming off a highly productive senior campaign in which he amassed a career-best 9 sacks and helped the Buckeyes win the College Football Playoff National Championship. He's a winner. He also recorded 38 total hurries, 16 QB hits, and a 90.6 overall grade from PFF. Plus, he earned an 89.2 pass rush grade and an 82.9 rush defense mark from PFF. That rush defense mark is a little low. It's a little low, but that can be coached up. You add 15 pounds onto this cat, right? I need him to be a maniac coming off the edge with his hair on fire. I don't need him to be Zadarius Smith. I need push. Think of our defensive line like a hockey line, right? I want to be able to cycle through multiple pass rushers. I don't want this line to be just my big bodies that can stop the run, my fill-ins. I don't want it all to be on Aidan Hutchinson, and I don't want Calvin Shepard to have to be like Aaron Glenn and send the blitz, leaving our corners out on an island with our all-world safeties to lurk, right? What have I said from the very jump? And that is, an elite pass rush covers up a lot of back-end issues on your defense and makes everybody look good. So Calvin Shepard coming into his first year with a action Jack Campbell, soon to explode onto the NFL, with Aidan Hutchinson with a chip on his shoulder, coming back fully healthy, rehabbed, and ready to just wreak hell on the NFC North. And you pair him with Jack Sawyer. He isn't the most athletic defender. Doesn't possess high-level get-off ability off the edge. These two attributes will likely hinder his ability to become a big-time quarterback disruptor at the next level. I think he'd be a much better target for the Lions in the second round. I think Jack Sawyer, because he's being told these, I think Jack Sawyer has a huge combine And Jack Sawyer climbs into the first round at number 28 overall for the Detroit Lions. Surprising everybody, having a monster rookie campaign with the Detroit Lions under the tutelage of Calvin Shepard, complimenting Aidan Hutchinson. Hutch goes bananas, pushing the league record for sacks in a single season. And most of that is thanks to his running mate, the Robin to his Batman, and that is Jack Sawyer, coming in a rookie year with 11 sacks. So between Hutch and Jack Sawyer, we got 30 sacks between the two of them. Lord help you if Lee McNeil comes back super healthy and DJ Reader stays in town. You start cycling in as Zadarius Smith and emerging Mekhi Wingu and maybe bringing another free agent. Oh. All right, well, yeah, so that's about it. You guys know I want to go edge. I don't want to go corner. I want to go edge. I think we need to beef up our front seven of our defense, not necessarily the linebacker core, mostly the front four. I need bodies that can do work. I need bodies, and I need our first-round pick to not be wasted on a developmental talent. I need a guy who can come in and play right away. That's what I need. So I don't think Pearce is going to be there. Mike Green, I love Mike Green. He could climb up the board a little bit and get into other people's first-round rooms. Mykel Williams, not fond of him. Shamar Stewart, not too wild about him. Big E, if he has a wonderful, combine, maybe. If I start hearing more about him. But again, that all ACC thing doesn't really matter to me much. Again, I said that's the smartest kid with Down syndrome. Josiah Stewart's a second-round guy. If we go another direction, he's there in the second round, I would be just tickled shitless. And there's my dude, Jack Sawyer. I like Jack Sawyer. I hope Jack Sawyer does just enough to impress Brad Holmes and get into the first round. I think that's the way to go. So, appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Monday, I got some things to do here, so there will only be this one upload. Mock Draft Monday. Hope you guys liked it. Comment down below. What do you think of the mock draft we went through? Who would you take in the first round, number 28 overall? As always, I've been Hat and Beard. You've been an attentive audience. That's going to be it for me. Bonga bonga. Break off.